how I feel the new Ghost Recon 2026. And I'm not going to spam you with info that most likely everyone already knows from leaks, that we'll get a first-person view at least partially, like in previous Ghost Recon titles, or that we're getting a slightly more realistic milsim experience in the style of Ready or Not. But what is this video really about then? Many have probably noticed that Ubisoft actually likes to advertise their upcoming series in previous games, or leave Easter eggs and hints. That's how we could first see the beginnings of Skell Tec in the latest Wildlands DLCs, which basically served as bridges promoting Breakpoint. But honestly, the transition was obvious since the series sold well and the whole world was waiting for the next game. The company had no issues back then, and nobody was talking about shutting the game down. So drawing conclusions in this way is harder in our case, but not impossible. In Breakpoint, we encounter a lot of gray morality and ambiguous living characters, along with a darker atmosphere, which Ubisoft's official statements basically hint at, saying there will be more missions with gray morality and the spirit of Ron, less open world, and more structured scenarios with a focus on team discipline. This is confirmed by the fact that we see Breakpoint has clearly deepened the link between Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six, with obvious borrowing of maps and references that are hard to miss. But despite that, I'm confident Ghost Recon will never become Rainbow Six. And that's not all. I dug a little deeper and noticed this. For example, not everyone knew that some files that didn't make it into Wildlands release, namely robot drones, we see them in Breakpoint, or Moa Island, which was also planned as a new DLC, but for some reason never saw the light of day due to the company closing that part. Is there something similar left in Breakpoint that we could notice and understand might be coming in Ghost Recon 2026? Well, yes and no. Because the things that were made back then in Wildlands and didn't come out only in Breakpoint were at the intersection of Wildlands' success and high expectations for Breakpoint. But now we're in a slightly different situation, so it's not certain that it even makes sense to consider this model. However, I noticed something else besides the unreleased Moa Island concept. Finally, Ghost Recon got bosses. To be honest, the spongy, unrealistic raids in the style of The Division didn't really work for me, but at least we saw for the first time that bosses in Ghost Recon can be more than just punching bags. They can be enemies with different specializations, like that guy with the drone or the invisibility suit. And here we smoothly move to the next point, specializations. Finally, we got things that, if you pick a certain class, are only available to you, which makes teamwork genuinely necessary and meaningful. The third area, which Ubisoft really worked on in Breakpoint, why the game felt less like GTA, and which will definitely be even better in Ghost Recon 2026, is expanded co-op functionality. Let's be honest, 80% of the problems in the game are created by us or our friends. Love immersing yourself in Special Forces realism? Great, but a friend who starts rushing can ruin the whole mission. It's not that he's a noob, it's just that no one showed him how to play properly. And the difference between you can play together and the game actually teaches cooperation is huge. So I think Ghost Recon 2026 will start fostering a real desire in players to work as a team and be useful. For example, look at Rainbow Six. The training there is really rich and useful, whether it's bots, your real friends, or a random multiplayer matchmaking. After all, Ready or Not proved that properly presented room clearing with real tactical needs, preparation, and punishments for rushing can be popular, and Ghost Recon 2026 could once again take the niche of tactical leader, being under the Tom Clancy brand. After all, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six was the genre pioneer at its time. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I think Ubisoft will try, in a sense, to monopolize this genre. Now that we're talking about Ron and the first-person view, I'm 101% sure we're getting inspect weapon, checking magazines, and flashlights finally. Weapon assembly will be detailed and weight will actually feel real. You'll be holding a proper heft, not some prop piece of junk. And I really hope they ditch those Division-style spongy hints. In Breakpoint, you could shoot a heavy guy right in the eye, bypassing his helmet, and it would still feel like you hit the helmet. I'm not saying there shouldn't be protection, but just making HP thicker without rewarding precise hits, That's, in my opinion, arcade-level casualness that ruins the game. Like I said before, I want to see more RPG-style specializations. Not to be confused with those RPG weapon upgrade elements, that was awful. Like I said before, I want to see more RPG-style specializations, limited resources, dependency on each other. So you can't just rush a whole base alone. Or if you do, you better be a damn specialist. For example, C4 only works fully for an engineer. Medics get reviving drones, snipers get recon optics. This makes us feel like real special forces, not just identical gunmen running in, dying multiple times, and leaving the session frustrated and ready to curse the game. It's not just about model weight, sounds, or visuals. Each class should feel unique in gameplay, not just plus 5% accuracy or an extra grenade. Everything, from weapons to animations, should work for immersion. Next-gen enemies with lasers and invis suits. In Breakpoint, the Bodarks were tougher than the regular wolves, armored, upgraded. I'm confident that in Ghost Recon 2026, enemies won't just be tougher HP-wise or have different weapons, they'll be more varied. In Breakpoint, we first saw communicators, stealth scouts, heavy gunners, rocket guys, and I'm sure these classes will evolve into real challenges in GR 2026. Player specializations will also feel more practical. C4 is most effective in an engineer or breacher's hands, medics with reviving drones, snipers with unique optics, drone operators with a powerful drone setup. This creates interdependence and makes teamwork genuinely meaningful. This isn't about saying you can't enjoy Ghost Recon solo. In fact, solo play might be even cooler. But I just want the classes to be packed with so much depth that there's no way you could run all of them effectively by yourself. Setting and visual style, new biomes. Asia gives a chance to expand ideas from Golem and Moa Island. Dense greenery, foggy saunas, humidity, tight urban layouts, narrow streets, tons of details like in Rainbow Six, making maps harder to memorize and navigate. Vertical gameplay with ropes, carabiners, and climbing should also be emphasized. It's practically begging for it in Ghost Recon 2026. If you resonate with my thoughts, please support this video. Maybe it'll reach Ubisoft and help make the game even closer to what we want.